Oh my God, you're here. Oh my God, you're here. Hi. We're figuring stuff out. There's wax on my Palo Santo.
I'm also here. Hi.
Welcome back. It's Wednesday night.
Live at Ritual Space.
Live at Ritual. Okay, let's bring some energy. Let's cleanse this.
Yeah.
This joint here. Oh.
Yeah.
Joe. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There we go.
We're working on it. You know, we have lighting today, so you can actually see us. We're improving slowly but surely. The mic is on, yeah.
And we're here, which is the most important part of all.
Truly.
We're here. We're cleansed.
Happy new moon.
Happy new moon. Did you do any witchy stuff?
I had that womb wisdom circle
on
the new moon.
That'll do it.
And I went to a retreat for new moms. Well, I'm not a mother, but I am in the business of new moms and supporting new moms and women. So I went, and it was so beautiful. It was so nourishing. Kelly Cundiff, she's a doula, registered nurse, and she is local to Southwest Florida. And she hosted a little half-day retreat with yin yoga and sound and nourishing foods and all this beautiful stuff. So
that sounds so nice.
Got really nourished on this new moon.
Love that. A lot of feminine energy. Huh?
So much feminine energy.
Okay, I gotta do some things with the camera. So just hang tight. If you're watching the replay, you can just skip a roo for 30 seconds. Thank you for your patience.
We love a tech moment.
We love a tech moment with just my hair.
Love it.
Okay.
Your ends look so healthy.
Thanks.
But I did break a nail today. And that's
happens.
What I get for buying cheap press-ons on Amazon. It's my own damn fault.
It happens. It's part of it.
What did you do for the new moon? Did you do anything?
I think the new moon happens to me. Sometimes if I'm not intentional to it, it will be like, hey,
I'm here.
I'm going to take this eraser and I'm just going to... No, but I felt like it was a good grounding time. I felt like a lot of things I have been working with found a new level of settled. So that was a good feeling for the weekend. Mm-hmm.
I love it. I think new moons are so much more powerful than full moons.
Yeah, because it's the beginning of the cycle. Yeah,
I said it. I do. I think the intention you set is so important because that's what comes to manifest.
Mm-hmm.
Full moons kind of do all the work for you. You just have to feel through the shift and recognize what you've manifested.
Yeah, that's
and
a good way to put it.
You have to deal with what you manifested.
Yeah, literally. You have to process it.
Whether you like what you've manifested or not.
Mm-hmm.
So I think new moons are just so important. And to have just been in really nourishing spaces during the new moon I'm real excited to see what comes from that.
Smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome back. It is our weekly time to chat and yap, and Heather and I are here today. Two psychics wanting to talk about it. I think, Ritual Space, we're really niche here. You sure? We're a co-working space, if you want to call it that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Muggle word for this. It's really a coven.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Unashamedly.
We're two intuitive psychic women connected with many other intuitive and powerful psychic women and people. And this is where we congregate and do our sacred work.
So many powerful people come through this space. I mean, you can see it on just the podcast interviews that we've done.
Oh my gosh. You know who's coming on the podcast?
Who?
Zaylene Mother Gonzalez.
Nice.
She's going to come talk to us about human design on the 17th.
Awesome.
Which is so exciting. Speaking of powerful people.
Yeah.
So
that's great.
I just want to take a moment to
I have to do a story about her. because before, like years before Ritual Space existed, she was doing readings at a place. I was at a kava bar, and I got a reading. I was with a different person, and she was basically like, GTFO, GTFO, GTFO. But she was like, well, your energy is being drained a lot. And she was like laying it on.
With a smile on her face.
Yeah, she was really polite. And because I was there with him, and she was right. She was right about that. And I followed her advice, and it was good advice.
And now we're here. All in this beautiful space together. That's a beautiful thing.
Isn't that funny?
That is really funny.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
I had a moment today where I was sitting in the sunroom and I was like gazing in here and the vibes were right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was like an active quiet. I could hear typing in the other room, you know, people working, and it was just such a vibe. And it was just one of those moments. And I have these, they're moments, they're windows in time. I have them, but it was like, oh, we did it. Like,
Vibes.
Oh, I made it. Like,
yeah.
you know, like, I think we get so, like, focused on, well, if when I reach this amount of money in my bank account, or this goal, or this milestone, if I get this published, like, I'll have made it. But no, I had that feeling today. I was like, oh, yeah.
This is success.
It's working.
It's here. Success is amongst us.
Absolutely. So,
that feels good.
I just love us.
Me too.
We did something really good here, and I'm really proud of it. I'm really, really proud of it, and I'm excited to talk about psychic development because that's a huge part of this space in a way that, I don't know, you wouldn't think. It's not, like, obvious. It's not like we're having a weekly psychic development class, you know?
Yeah.
We don't actually have one.
I wish. I would love to do one.
But
I just haven't yet. I haven't. I have.
Timing. You have.
But yeah, timing's tough right now.
Timing is, you know, life be life in, and you're a school teacher, an educator
right
in
now.
Public schools. You're influencing young minds. And that takes, you are. Trust and believe you are. But I think it just happens here in like a way you wouldn't think or expect, or maybe even know it's happening. I feel like I do it all the time in hypno sessions and therapy sessions.
Yeah.
Because it's about you listening to that wise and loving voice that is always talking to you. You just ignore it. Yeah. Or it's just not very loud because there are other voices in your head, like the inner critic or your mother's voice in your head. Maybe that's one of the same. You know, it speaks over it. And I think talking about intuition, helping people understand what that is and developing it, whether you want to be a psychic reader or not, is so important because we all are intuitive beings. We're all energetic beings. And we all experience our intuition in a different way. And I think if you don't if you're like not in circles or spaces where people are talking about their intuition, or that's like an openly expressed thing, I think it's really, especially for women, it's
you're doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah. Like, I just think of all the people that I have had in my office, and they feel guilt or bad or shame or confusion about their experience, when I'm like, how you experience your intuition and connect with it, like, is unique to you. So you can't really compare. But if no one's talking to you about it or gaslighting you or telling you like, oh, that's not true, but like you do know it's true, it can really cause some really wild conditioning in the mind and keep us so stunted. So I just I'm glad we're talking about it today, because it's important for our, I think, holistic health.
Yeah, I think what you're pulling out here is the blending of the inner connection to yourself and then the awareness of your connection to others. And I think when you choose to be ignorant to that power,
because it's a choice for sure.
It's like avoiding your own responsibility instead of taking accountability for what that means, because that is a powerful force. And it's not to shame, but it is to say, hey, we've been unconscious of this ability and it's been villainized in so many different ways. And it's time to, for whatever reason that was the case, it's time to upgrade and become conscious, become aware, and then hopefully start to use that ability purposefully in a way that makes you proud of yourself. Because like anything, if you have an ability or a power that you are avoiding, it's still there. It's still happening. It's just unconscious. And when it's unconscious, you don't have the reins on it. And it can be destructive in ways that you don't want it to be destructive. And then you become afraid of your own power. And I think that's one of the reasons why it's been villainized for so long, especially in women. So I think understanding that interconnection to self and the fact that we are all connected to each other in ways that have not necessarily been proven scientifically yet, but they're happening. This research is starting to happen and come into more mainstream research and journals. It's an interesting time.
It is really interesting. I was watching, I'd be catching those mediumship shows on like TLC and stuff. But I think it's like the Hollywood medium, Tyler. He
love him, Tyler Henry. So yeah, I love him.
They did like a special or something with him, and they charted his brain activity while he was doing a reading, because they were trying to understand and explore this phenomenon of like, what is he doing? What's happening in the brain when you're tapping in intuitively and psychically? And his whole brain was lit up, but it wasn't just like certain areas of the brain. It was like a complete experience. And like the color on the graph was very atypical. And these like neuroscientists were, just talking about, it's not like you're activating memory, it's not like you're thinking,
choosing your frontal lobe.
Yeah, it's the whole brain was active. And I totally feel that. I mean, the way that I experience my intuition, it's in a lot of different ways, but when I'm like resonant with a truth that I'm picking up on, I feel my whole head tingle.
Yeah.
So that resonates with me. Like my whole mind is being activated and connecting to truth or source or whatever information I'm receiving.
Well, I think a lot of studies recently are pointing to this idea that conscious awareness, while it is localized in each individual, is also kind of like a blanket. And I think with the invention of things like the internet and even like radio frequency and things like that, we're starting to understand that there's almost this grid of connectivity going from like, how can we on a screen be talking to somebody who's not here in time or space? That's what's happening right now. So we're understanding that it is possible to connect on more of like a physical grounded level. And that is also possible on an energetic level as well, where like when I first saw you today, I think this is a great example of how I had read a book. I had so many ideas because we're connected in business and as friends and in so many ways. And I even said I have so many ideas. And then I saw her doing these ideas and posting about them. And I was like, wait a second. How did you like? And then she said, "Oh, I haven't been sleeping. I've been having so many ideas, literally." So,
and she's like, "That was my idea."
Yeah,
I was like, "Sorry, you gave it to me in the astral plan. I don't know what to say."
I was like, "Awesome! You didn't have to even read the book. I'll just do that, and you absorb it, and we'll be good to go." So, yeah. So I think that is something that would be easy to like coincidence, but coincidence is two incidents happening at the same time. It doesn't mean that it's not happening. It means that it is happening. This idea of synchronicity is something that we put in the realm of magic, which I love magic, but it's no more magic than this catching fire right now.
I just caught fire. Sorry.
Yeah. It's the way the reality works. We're meant to be interconnected. But if you think about that, if you're unaware of how to connect or the fact that you do connect, there can be so many connections happening that you don't actually realize what's yours and what's somebody else's. Because even though we are interconnected, we are still meant to maintain our own self and our own presence and our own point of perspective. That's why we exist, is because there's information for the consciousness, the collective consciousness to understand. And the only way to understand it is if we are being our most ourselves with the most integrity that we can.
Yeah, I had a tarot client today, and I think it always surprises me too when I like feel things or pick up on things. The way that I start readings. Actually, I think I learned this from you. Is I have them take a deep breath.
Mhm.
We breathe together, and I just start to like think or remember or experience things in my mind's eye, and I just am like, that looked like a waterfall. And I was like, okay, let me feel into that energy, and then I express it, and I like relate it back to the general message. And it's so interesting. I'll just have like what feels like random thoughts that aren't aligned, but I know they're not like a conscious thought. It's more of like a
insertion,
boop,
thought insertion.
Yeah. Not quite intrusive, but I suppose
Sure,
it is in a way. And I just kind of like, I just thought of this. Does that resonate with you? And they're like, well, like, yeah, it's totally in line. Like, that's crazy that you know that. Like, I was reading cards last weekend for an event, a pop-up, and someone sat down, and I was just like, oh, I'm seeing like a snow globe. Why am I seeing a snow globe? And then it just like went down the line. I was like, okay, are you from New York or something? Like, it's like, I love New York globes. I don't know why. Like, for me, that's my association, right? So spirit is connecting with me through my associations that I have so that I can relate to somebody else. And they're like, I'm literally from New York. And I said, are you traveling there this week? She's like, literally going tomorrow. I was like, it's crazy.
It is crazy when it happens. Because like, how do I know that? I don't know how I know that, but snow globe out of nowhere. Snow globe. Yeah.
I just kept following that feeling, something nostalgic and about it, because I'm experiencing it when I connect with someone through my intuition or psychically, and this is a skill I've developed.
Yes.
This is something I've also had to learn to trust, because it don't make no sense. It's different. It's a different
based on what like the laws of physics that we have adopted as a culture for many hundreds of years.
Yeah, because it doesn't make sense, but I just have to like trust it because I'm 9 out of 10 times it's right. It's on the money or it's leading to the truth. And sometimes it's through these journeys. Like, okay, the message was in a snow globe. I'm seeing a snow globe. Like I could like see the snow in the globe. It was like falling slowly, and I was like, that feels really nice. Like really connecting with the energy of it. Yeah, it was very nostalgic, very like homey, and it just led me down that path for us to like really connect with the message for her. And it was just kind of crazy how it came that way. Or like today when I saw a waterfall, I felt about that energy of a waterfall. It was like a big exhale, like a big release, a big expansion, and it definitely connected with the reading today too.
Yeah. Well, to your point about the brain lighting up, so if we're in a field of consciousness and we focus on one person's energy, our bodies are the receivers of that energy and the interpreters of that energy. So our mind is going to interpret it a certain way, our heart is going to interpret it in some way, our gut. Like if our chakras are aligned and open, which is why it's so important to start with breath, so you get everything kind of going at once, breathe from the ground up, then you can express to this person something that makes them feel like there's something bigger than just them going on, and it helps to put things in perspective to where it is incredibly insightful, and getting that insight is kind of like this comforting, cathartic thing where I do teach now. I'm learning a lot about energy and the old world and the new world and where things are going and how I bridge that. And that's a whole journey for me, but that's where I'm at. But I've also been a psychic professionally and still am for many years. So it's pretty amazing when you can have like grown men, like big burly dudes crying in the seat across from you because you're sending them something, you're expressing something in their energy that they felt like they were alone with. And the message of
super vulnerable to be read psychically.
Very. And I think the most powerful thing is to understand that very technically speaking, we are all unified, and that can be absolutely a good thing, especially when we're grounded also in our points of view, specifically ourselves.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It's really powerful, I think, to go on this journey of like really learning to connect intuitively and psychically. It's important to find the balance. There's definitely like, I've had moments where I'm open and in a place that I just don't want to be open, and I'm receiving things. So I've had to learn. I'm still learning to find that boundary energetically and that like hygiene, so that I'm not just like picking up on things all the time.
Right. Because being interconnected in a world where people are drastically different from you is not necessarily something that is helpful.
There's a lot going on out there, guys. And you don't want to pick up on all of it. I mean, you can pretty much see the state of our collective right now, just in what the world is looking like. And I feel like I've been busy with readings lately. I think a lot of people have a lot of questions and really want that insight. And everyone is able to tap in. It is a skill you practice. Everyone is intuitive. It's about different levels of acceptance, and I think connection with what that feels like for you. But yeah, I don't know. I forgot what I was about to say.
Well, you're talking about how like you're connected to people even sometimes when you don't want to be, and those boundaries are important.
I have this like checklist of things in my mind when I walk into. I went to Publix, the grocery store today, and I was like, okay. I like take a deep breath before I go in. I put my tongue at the top of my mouth to keep my energy strong, and I just like don't look at people as much as possible, because I'll just pick up on energy and things, and I don't need to do that. I already hate being in a grocery store.
I definitely need like desensitization breaks throughout the day, even if it's just a few minutes. I need to be like blacked out under the covers for 5 minutes, or I need to be away from people. If I have a long stretch of time where there's a lot of people around, I can feel myself being drained. And if I'm in a large crowd, I have to do those mindful, I have to connect to myself, because you don't want to get swept up into their energy, because that is like a current. It's like a whirlwind. So I'll just feel like my feet are on the ground. I can feel my hands. And we are meant to be ourselves in this experience that we're living. So anytime you reorient and you get mindful, like you're practicing your psychic ability when you become mindful.
Yeah, totally. I have so many women who I've done work with in like the hypnotherapy realm, and they come in with so much stress and anxiety, and through just like the initial, I guess, interview, for lack of a better word, and like talk to them about their experience and even how they experience their emotions. For a lot of women, especially, I've realized and helped them understand, like, you are intuitively sensitive, most likely. Like, you are most likely a highly sensitive person or an empath. Here's some language to what that means.
Yeah, and ready to adapt that ability.
And part of the reason why you might be experiencing so much stress and anxiety is because what you're feeling might not belong to you, and you're having a hard time understanding what it is that you're experiencing. And so if you can understand that, you can also strengthen the tools to help you practice mindfulness, to come back to your inner voice, your wise and loving voice, to come back to your body and how you feel, and work on those, I call it energetic hygiene, like techniques to really help you keep those energetic boundaries strong. Because if you aren't conscious that you are experiencing someone else's stuff, that can be
overwhelming.
And if for a lifetime,
it literally like
it impacts how you create associations and behave.
Yeah. It literally is like frayed energy. I think of like a wire that's supposed to be like nice and plugged in, and it's cut and it's frayed and it's open, and it could zap anybody as it walks by. Like that could electrocute people. Like that is a powerful thing, but it's not being used the way it was meant to be used. And I love your idea of a checklist. It's like, okay, did I take my breaks? Did I put my tongue on the roof of my mouth? Did I ground down? Sometimes I'll take like selenite or something to kind of cleanse, especially around my heart area. I'll just kind of hold it on my heart so crystals can help. So having a checklist of things that bring you back into yourself, that's like step one in creating good spiritual hygiene, where you use this practice of being psychic responsibly and not just like have your feelers out all the time trying to grab what you can.
Yeah.
That is overwhelming for you and the
It's
people
too
you're
much.
reading.
Too much information at one time is no good.
It's
for any
not
of
the
us.
goal when your power is your focus. Your power is your focus. So if you're wanting to get information, go in on the information fact-finding mission and then get out and ground. And only do that when there's permission. Because like you mentioned, getting into somebody's energy, that's that's personal, and you're never going to go wrong respecting a person enough to ask for permission for doing that. That is you being able to say, I know I'm a self being connected, and I respect that you're a self being connected. And even though we're connected, you're still honoring the separateness. And if we don't have that balance, then we can't practice it ethically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's important.
I've learned this tongue on the roof of your mouth thing, though.
Yeah.
It's something taught in super brain yoga, which is something I want to learn so much more about. But I kind of took like an intro class to it when I was going to school for hypnotherapy. And the thought is when you put your tongue to the roof of your mouth, your auric field becomes stronger. So your energy isn't leaking as much. So if you try to like just normally like feel the edge of your energy, like your aura, try and find the edge of it. But then now put your tongue on the roof of your mouth.
My hand got hot as soon as I put my hand. It was like burn. That's crazy.
Yeah, I can feel it. So like I couldn't really feel it. I can't really feel it when my tongue's not on the roof of my mouth. But when I put my tongue to the roof of my mouth,
yeah, try that.
I can feel the edge, and it feels warm. So yeah, try it at home. Let me know what you think.
That's a good one. That's a good, because anytime you can
more super brain yoga tips.
Yeah, anytime you can root into that physical sensation of heat or anything like that, that's really good.
Yeah.
And or like feeling that tension, like creating a ball of energy in between your hands and feeling like the edges of it is helpful. I know I do that when I teach Reiki to people before and after, so they can see how much more powerful they can perceive the energy.
We're so powerful, really, at the end of the day. And I think that's what's so empowering about psychic development is just empowering yourself to know the truth. Like, no, you know, because you're experiencing the truth in whatever way that is for you. And I know there's so many different clairvoyances. Clairs. The clairs.
The clairs.
What are they? Clairvoyance?
So claircognizance is kind of like an overall cognitively you're picking things up beyond your five senses. Clairvoyance is clear seeing. Clairaudience is clear hearing. Clairsalience is
smell.
Tasting.
Oh.
No. Smell. Clairgustance is tasting.
Oh.
And clairsentience is feeling. That's when you're talking about, I feel that energy of nostalgia. That's clairsentience. Sentience.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
It's so fascinating.
So essentially your five senses, but expanded.
I feel like I've experienced all of them in some way or another.
Oh, yeah.
I used to work at a crystal shop, if you can imagine. I know, big shock. But I worked with someone temporarily, and they could, like, taste energy, they said.
Yeah, well, that tasting energy, that's like when, like, if you get a whiff of somebody's grandmother and then you start having, like, a blueberry pie taste in your mouth, kind of.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've done that before.
I think so. Maybe not as much as this person.
Sure.
They're like, your energy tastes like mangoes,
oranges. That's very developed clairgustance.
And I was like, I'll take it.
They said it was mangoes?
Mangoes and oranges.
And oranges? It was citrusy.
I was like, that feels right to me. Thank you so much.
I claim that.
Thank you.
I claim that.
You get me.
I love it.
Yeah. And then I remember I was working one day with them, and someone came in, and they were not the vibe. We were all like, ugh. Good thing we're surrounded by protective crystals. And after they left the shop, My coworker was like, their energy tasted like fucking swamp water.
Ew.
And I was like, and it shows. But it was just so interesting.
Not everybody's an energetic match to each other. So that's
true.
another thing about developing this is you start to get very clear on who is a person you should keep close and who is a person you should, go off and have your own adventures. There's plenty of world here for us to explore. Go have your adventure over there. I'm gonna have mine over here.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's the person that you've had close or the people that you've had close to you that don't really mesh with that current energy. And that is a whole journey in and of itself, trying to figure out what to do there.
Yeah. Do you say you experience it all the time? Like all the senses?
Like when I'm doing a reading, because I don't when I'm doing a reading, I'm very pointed and specific, and it's like it's on, like my senses are on. When I'm not in a reading, I'm very boundaried up, like we've been talking about, because of just it's important.
Yeah.
But all of those, I receive all of those. Yeah, I would say the feeling is probably what I have first, and then the seeing, and then the hearing, and then the taste and the smell. But it's kind of the way you described it, where you have like a visual, and then it has a connection to a feeling. Snow globe, nostalgia, New York. Are you from New York? That's definitely very similar to my process most of the time.
Yeah, it's so fun. Like honestly, when I hold space for readings and things like that, I use the tarot. I can't just sit in front of you and tell you about yourself. I use the tarot as a tool. And I don't know. It's just amazing the synchronicities that I get.
I think you could. Do you give yourself opportunities to do that though?
No, I don't.
Okay, because I think you absolutely could do that. Right. And tools are fun. Sorry to interrupt you. But just had to interject that because tools are fun. And I love using a good tool.
I mean, I can read energy. Like I can look at someone and be like, okay, clocked it. Got it.
Yeah.
I observe.
Yeah.
But it's just energetically, I am such a sensitive being that it's hard for me not to do that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, of course, I think I could, but I enjoy the tarot.
Yeah, tools are fun. I enjoy tools. Sometimes I'll like just put like salt on a plate and just kind of like shake it around and read that, and that's fun. You can use whatever the hell you want to use.
Divination, man.
It's got a bad rap, but it's pretty fun.
We were looking at our cacao.
Yes,
mud.
exactly.
What do you call it?
Tea leaves and
yeah,
cacao
too. Pendulum.
Clouds. You could look at the clouds formations.
There's no clouds outside.
Not really, but we could still do it, I think.
Runes. I don't know much about runes though. I don't know her.
Runes. I don't use runes. That's not been magic I've been drawn to, but I know people who have, and they're amazing and awesome. I've had a rune reading before. It was pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's very similar to tarot. It's all about reading the energy of this physical reality, which is just reflecting back to us what we need to hear at any point in time.
Yeah. I don't know. I've been so intuitively spot on lately about a lot of things, and it scares me. And I think sometimes this is being intuitive. I can't really live in a delusion. I can't really live there for long because my intuition will always kick my ass. Be like, no, you knew that this was this. You can't pretend that it's not this. And I'll be like, oh, I just wanted to be delusional for a second.
Right.
I don't want to look at the truth.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's also part of the journey. Like, okay, so first you have to ground into yourself. Then you have to realize, okay, I might need to put up really strong boundaries with others. And then you have to realize that you create your experience based on how you interpret it, based on the meaning that you give to your experiences. And you're in charge of that. And nobody else can tell you that. And that is a lot of freaking responsibility. And we have protected ourselves from that responsibility with entire religions and systems, right? And the time for that is we need to start accepting the responsibility that we are creating these things. Part of doing that is saying, what do I want to be true and what seems to be actually true in this moment?
Right.
And accepting that, because when we can accept what we've created unconsciously that maybe we didn't want to create, but the energy's already progressed to a point where it's here and it's loud and it's not what we want, you can shift that energy. But first you have to look at it eyes wide open and say, this is what's happening in front of us. And there's plenty in the world right now where we are looking at our shadow. So the Earth's consciousness is also, the planet itself is also rising up. And that's why there is so much technology, interconnectivity with AI and the internet, and on a very kind of like primitive level right now. But we are all kind of becoming more conscious of the habits that we've been creating in the last couple thousand years. And because of that, we're seeing a lot of shadow front and center and stuff that just sucks.
Yeah.
It's not fun to look at. It's not fun to see. We have to process it as a collective because we are all connected by one blanket of consciousness, and it affects all of us when one of us acts that way.
Yeah. And, I think spaces like Ritual Space and having conversations like this are to just keep that conversation of conscious awareness open, because I've said this on here before, but half of my job is dehypnotizing people of their, not only their personal conditioning, but also the conditioning of the culture and society that we live in and how it impacts us. People, a lot of people choose to shut down and they don't want to see it. They don't want to look at it, whether that's consciously or not, because that can't be true. I've been told it's this, and so that's my reality, and that is a reality, but it's not necessarily what is really going on.
Right.
And that in itself is disheartening and stressful to manage. But there are a lot of people in the world that are hyper suggestible to,
harmful things
that are happening here. Yeah.
I think that one way to kind of walk that path, because you don't want everything terrible in front of you all at once, because again, that would overwhelm you, just like the good stuff would overwhelm you. You're not meant to experience everything all at once. But as you walk that path and you stay grounded in yourself, it's important to kind of have a bit of neutrality to the experiences that we've had in the past, and meeting it with a lot of grace and saying, we were operating with the levels that we experienced. We were operating from traumas, generational traumas that we were unaware of. And in that space, we caused some destructive things as a collective, as a humanity, and individually even maybe. And so being aware of those things while also being grounded into, really, there's more of that to come. This like, oh, I did that. Oh my God, that's terrible, right? And it's true that it's terrible. And it's also true that these terrible things we deserve healing from. The people affected deserve healing from, and creating more trauma by throwing humans into cages or punishing or vengeance or revenge or all those things, those perpetuate the problem. They don't give any solace or reprieve to the victim of the initial action. They don't bring justice. They just perpetuate more of the pain and cause more of a huge desire that comes from a place of trauma that then has to be played out in this karmic cycle, hurting themselves and others. So really, when we see these terrible things, it doesn't mean we say, that's totally fine, but it does mean, wow, that person is hurting, and they are only acting that way because they have had probably generations of untouched, unclaimed, unnoticed trauma.
Yeah.
And doing that work individually, which so many people are waking up and starting to do that work individually because they feel the clearing and the release that brings, that really is, that's the action you take when you accept the responsibility of how powerful of a person you are. You start taking responsibility for what you have done in the past and changing your behavior to make yourself more proud of yourself in the future.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's challenging. I mean, when you see things or experience things fully, especially with expanded senses, it's hard not to see it all and to experience it all. But it does add powerful contrast, I think, to the good and the bad.
Yeah.
It makes it more meaningful, I think.
Yeah. Which is, there's always going to be something that we don't like and something that we work toward. It's just how much do we approach that journey with grace? The journey of mistake. Because anytime we have a question, an answer pops up with another question so that we can find another answer. And that's this eternal journey that this unified conscious field is going on.
How long have you been a psychic?
Yeah.
When did you really start to connect with that?
Yeah, I definitely would say that there was a long time of being avoidant to that ability and that power. It was villainous, so that was a big no-no. And I woke up to it when I was attuned to Reiki and started getting into it, and then started attracting people asking me out of the blue, like, can you tell me what my dead son is saying to me? And I'm like, somehow, yes, I need to figure out what's going on here. So I took class. And I was like, okay, if I'm going to speak for consciousness that has already passed on, I need to know what's going on. So that was probably about, I think, 2000, around that time. That was a huge awakening for a lot of people. And that's when I kind of started, I took that class and I started practicing professionally once I realized that I could read people that I've never met who lived on the other side of the world.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's so wild.
It's been fun.
Reiki also, I think, opened it for me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I think so. I went to a Reiki practitioner in college. I was just not doing well.
Mm-hmm.
I had a really hard first year of college, and I was told to go get some energy work done. And I had never done anything like that before. And I was like, honestly, I'll try anything.
Yeah.
It just opened me up. Just opened my energy centers up, and I came online, and I felt everything after that. And it was a whole journey of exploring it as well. I never really took a class, but girl, I have had so many tarot readers and psychics in my life to help me through that experience.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Everybody comes at it from a different path.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Psychic
stuff.
Psychic stuff. I really want to get one of those vintage psychic signs, the hand neon.
Yeah. When I went like this, I was like, oh, there's eyeballs in my hands.
Yeah.
Like that image of the eyeball.
What is that symbolism?
So it's kind of like your hands are like your heart chakra, but it's basically like the eye is a fractal that is repeating itself. And it's like, I'm not very good at explaining it.
I've just always been curious. I never really knew the whole eyes on the palm, but I like that.
Yeah, awareness. But I'm not well versed enough to explain that very thoughtfully.
I'll look into it.
Yeah, we can probably look. Yeah. Yeah, it's bringing awareness, like the center of your hand being connected to your third eye. And that's why, when you see somebody, you wave. This is such a sign of I'm a friend. I have nothing to hide. I'm on your side. Like when you show somebody your hands, and especially the palm of your hands, it's a very reassuring and comforting thing. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
It's like I'm bringing awareness through my heart to and connecting to you. So high fives and all the things.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I really love that.
Yeah. So if an eye is a fractal where which God perceives everything, and it goes through your heart chakra and through your palms.
So amazing.
Yeah.
And it is a feeling. I feel like, intuition is a feeling. So I think that's how I associate with the hand. Like maybe I'm not feeling it. But does that make sense?
No.
Okay. I just unconscious.
Intuition through the hand. You can perceive and receive energy through the hand.
Like intuition is a feeling, and I perceive the feeling through touch.
You can feel intuition in a physical sense?
Sometimes.
How does that feel for you? Pretty good?
Yeah.
Like chills, right?
Yeah.
That's clairsentience.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Exactly. I think that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, it's kind of like internally bubbly. It's like kind of like an energized, bubbly openness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It
Internal.
feels like goosebumps when I
Mhm.
feel it. I get it on my legs a lot.
Your legs.
And the
Interesting.
top of my head, like my thighs.
Okay.
Like when I'm sitting, especially. Yeah.
It like tingly. It gets tingly up
Mhm.
here.
Yeah, when I'm like reading for a client, I will, if I say something that resonates or they are experiencing the resonance of what I said, I can feel it.
Oh yeah.
Too. And it's usually a whole body experience that I'm having.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. I love it though. I love it, and I love that I am amazed after every session with a client too.
Yeah, so fun.
Like, oh yeah.
It really is fun.
It's so much wonder. Like, I know I can trust it, but even so, just with the synchronicities or the resonance and the stories that come up in a reading and how I validate it and give them another perspective, or the different, like I'll see things and I'll connect with things and then I'll flip cards and then it's like, well, that's what I just said, and I'm like, oh, okay, like validation. And I think honestly that's why I use the cards, because I need to be validated.
Oh, it's fun to be validated. I want to
experience wonder as well as the client.
Confirmation is always fun.
Yes, absolutely.
For sure.
Now, it's really interesting. I think Heather should talk about it. I'm talking to you. I should be talking to you about it. But your Claire consulting and how you bring psychic work into business consulting.
Yeah. So I call it Claire consulting because whether it's relationship or there's so much happening collectively with relationships right now. We're healing through so many, like I said, just years of unconscious garbage that need to be brought to light. And so having somebody to navigate relationships with you and another person with people and find those common points so that you can work through the sticking points is so helpful. I have literally had conversations. So in relationships, a lot of estrangement is happening, and I love doing work in that field. I have had mothers and daughters who've been estranged, and it was like no chance that they were not having any kind of relationship. And within one conversation, they had made enough of a connection to start building that trust and move forward. So to be able to mediate those conversations and be a voice for somebody and listen as well, and kind of maneuver through that very tricky energy that is really hard when it's you. It's really hard when you're the one that's overwhelmed with the emotion because it's your experience. But when you have somebody who's compassionately willing to read that energy for you, gosh, it's so helpful. It's been amazing. So I do it for relationships. I also do it in business because our businesses are also shifting and updating and patterns. So many people think that. So remember when I said that a lot of the unconsciousness that we're seeing come to light right now has come from trauma? Well, we have had a trauma of survival. Can we survive? Are we able to survive? And so this idea of abundance is just reinforcing this thing that I'm alive. I'm really alive. Am I alive? Am I alive? Am I going to keep being alive? And I'm going to keep it. But as long as you are conscious, which is all that exists, by the way, we are photons and electromagnetic forces. So what's really here is the consciousness behind that. And as long as that exists, like I think, therefore I am. I'm getting very existential. I hope it makes sense.
I love it.
Okay, good. So as long as we are able to have that awareness and that consciousness, we are alive, but we want that shown to us. Am I alive? How alive am I? Am I this alive? Okay, this is really nice. This feels full. This feels in bloom. This feels like abundance. This is beautiful. This is luxury right here. This flower arrangement. This is friendship. This feels like I'm alive. I want more things that show to me that I am alive. And from that place of trauma, we get this like almost desperate need to reflect back to ourselves that we are alive. So we want a lot of different things to reflect back to us that we are alive. And then the shadow side of that in itself is not a bad thing, to want to confirm that we are alive, that we exist, that we're feeling and having these experiences. Not a bad thing. But that's how we get into overconsumption and this like fast fashion culture, and we're making more trash than we can process out, and there's like a buildup of junk that we're causing because we're just trying to grab the abundant and ride that wave entirely. So what I do in my business consulting sessions is we kind of sort that out. So we always start with, where is your energy at and what is it that you need? Because sometimes we're unaware of these patterns. And really, the way to move through these patterns is we have to give ourselves what we need. But when we do that in a conscious way, it's so much different than when we do that in an unconscious way. So we bring consciousness to the actual underlying needs. Who are you? How do you operate as the person that you're expressing yourself to be? And what do you want to create from that? But it's not even about what that outcome will be, because whatever outcome you're in, if you're trying to meet a need in an unconscious state of trauma fulfillment, you're not going to like the outcome of it because it comes from that trauma place. But when you bring consciousness to it, the outcome immediately also happens. It's kind of like the idea of success that you said. You looked out, nothing changed, but you felt successful. It was showing you that you were alive. You had life to the fullest. It was a beautiful thing, and it was reflected back to you, and that's what you want. That's what we're wanting. And we want to do that in our own unique individual ways. And we are very disconnected sometimes from who we are, who ourselves are, what we want. Of course, we want more money. We want more, right? We want more money. We want more luxury. We want more rest. We want all of these things in general, but we're not specifically paying attention to how we're doing it and how we're working against it. Because there's so many systems that were built from that place of trauma of, am I alive? Oh no. Am I not alive? Am I alive? Am I going to die? And we build these systems that are very controlling because they come from a place of, I don't know if I'm going to survive. So these controlling systems make us operate in ways that go against who we are naturally. And we have to massage that and soothe that so that we can bring our consciousness to it and create new patterns along the way. So that's, I don't know, that was a big answer, but that's what I do in my consultant sessions. I don't know if that makes sense.
It's big work, so that makes sense.
It's so
and
fun.
I feel it. I've
so important.
had those sessions with you, and it is amazing. Just of you being able to connect with that energy and to paint that picture through what you're experiencing and feeling. Because when I am, for example, a new business owner, and whether I'm conscious of it in lack, it's hard for me to organize myself and my thoughts and work toward my goals, or even identify what it is that I'm doing. I had spent so much time in the first couple of years of my business of like, this is my business, but why do I not connect to it? Like, I created it, but why do I feel this disconnect? And to have your insight in that energy of my connection with my business, you were able to help me organize that so that I could see it more clearly. But yeah, that lack, it stops me from seeing it fully and experiencing it fully, because it's that fight or flight response, freeze or fawn.
It's overwhelming.
And so I think it's really important to have that kind of companion on that journey, whether in your relationship to others or the relationship with your business, because it is you have to personify it almost.
When you are flooded with the overwhelm from your life, it helps to have somebody energetically help you sort that out. I need people to do that for me too. I don't get high on my own supply. Of course, I'm self-reflective and I'm insightful, but I also...
I think every psychic has a psychic.
If you don't, I don't think you're doing it right.
Like,
a network.
Myself. Yeah. Are you kidding me?
No,
I'm so biased to my own bullshit.
I'm screwed, you know. My friend's like, you're not, you're good. Can I give you a quick reading?
Yeah.
I just want to pull out surface level things. See if I can pull it out anything surface level. Do you think that'd be fun? Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay. Take a
I
deep.
have a headache and I don't want to transfer it to you. So
It's okay. I'm boundaried up. All good,
Okay.
girl. All right. Deep breath. You do have orange energy for sure. Often when I tap in, you have a lot of orange. Like the color is how it comes through for me, but the citrusy stuff makes sense too. Yeah, lots of orange, even like pumpkin. I'm getting.
I'm feeling fall vibes.
The fall vibes are coming
Strong.
through.
Like today, I felt it in the office. I was like,
fall is it's coming. All right. Was there something that you couldn't fasten recently? Like you were trying, it's like a clasp or something. It could be like jewelry, and you were like trying to fasten something. I'm going like pinpoint on something. I don't know if that resonates for you, or like a button or something. It does feel like metal was involved.
metal.
Yeah. It could be even like a cabinet or something like that. Something circular, maybe with chain, maybe. That's resonating.
Not in this moment.
That's okay. No need to force it. Okay. It's almost like, yeah, you're like frustrated. You're like, dang it, I can't get in here. It could even be like a bathroom mirror, or like a cabinet, or like a box or something. It feels very like not important. Like it's just like something in your day where it's just like, it irritates you. And it feels small, but I think the energy I'm getting from it is like that affects you more than you think it does. The little irritations that you experience throughout the day.
Oh, I know they do.
Yeah.
I'll come back to this nail, for example.
Right. Okay. So when you
putting them on, they fall off, they break.
Did it break when you were trying to open something or something like that?
I was looking for my keys. It broke on my keys.
It broke on your keys.
Yeah.
So your keys are metal.
Yeah, that's correct.
And there's like I imagine there's like a circular.
Yeah, and my pants.
And your pants. Yeah, I definitely was getting. I don't know if you saw me look there, but I was like, maybe she was buttoning her pants.
Yeah. I initially cracked it.
Where were you when that happened?
At home.
At home, not in your bathroom, or like around.
It could have been my bathroom.
In your bathroom. Okay. Sometimes it's hard.
I did put my pants on my bathroom.
Okay. Sometimes it's hard when you go at it that like specifically, because you don't necessarily register, like you register that irritates you.
Yeah.
But you don't register all the details about like your life. I think the only thing that comes through for that is like this idea of like, you're on a journey where you realize every single thing you do, even those of low consequence, could be opportunities for high value.
Okay.
And you are in a journey like all of us, where it's like you're learning to value yourself really, really highly. And so when you have high value for yourself, the like, even the way your pants are buttoned, even like anything that you do, it's almost like you want to find a way to streamline even those little moments, because they can be sticking points that can like spin you off into another direction, and you don't realize it started there. It started when you couldn't button your pants exactly right, or you lost a nail buttoning your pants.
Yeah. No, I've been very frustrated about it all day, actually.
Yeah.
And I thought I was just being hard on myself for like perfectionism, but it is connected to, I'm consciously stepping into a higher vibration.
You are.
And I just want to feel exactly how I want to present exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
And so like when it broke, I was like,
that is not how I feel.
To do a whole new, I have to do it all over again.
Yeah.
Because I have to be presenting as much high as I feel that I
am. So then the question becomes, do you need, like, so instead of dismissing like, oh, I shouldn't care about my nail, it should be not a big deal, but I do care about my nail a lot. Yeah. Is there a more quality nail that you could use? Is there another way you can do your nails that make you feel high value that maybe isn't what you're doing?
Yeah, I actually thought about that in the car on the way here. I was like, what is it going to take for me to have nice nails that don't break by buttoning my pants?
It's almost like you're in, this is a really fun energy to play with too. Like you're in the energy of like lubricating your day. Like how do you make every little thing more smooth everything more fun. Like I have to walk through doors, and I have this like lanyard that has like a badge that will let me go through the door. And if I have just my lanyard on, I have to like hunch over to click it. But if I have one of those cool pull ones, then I just go bing, and I feel like a boss, and I walk through that door. And it's the tiniest thing, but I do that 20 times a day. So it adds up, and it makes my life more streamlined. And that even that little switch makes a huge difference over the course of every single day.
Yeah.
Your nails, think of how often you look at your nails. Think
All
of
the
how
time.
much you play with your nails, and they're in front of you all the time. Whatever's on your hand is huge. So
I do feel powerful when I have my nails done, and it's something I used to do a lot, and then I got away from it. I'm also like I'm not a delicate gal. I don't know. I be doing stuff a lot, you know? I do a lot of things, and I work with my hands a lot. So like,
yeah, you're out here.
When I was working at the brewery, or when I'm like doing yard work or like repotting plants, like, you know, I was like, okay, it's not really practical to have my nails done, but I'm just wanting to feel in an elevated vibe, and I want my hands to be an expression of, comes back to the hands, but like, I just want them to be an expression of how I'm feeling and choosing to show up. I also don't want to pick my cuticles to my knuckles anymore.
Yeah.
And it helps me not do that. But when they break, then I just start to, like, I'm not put together now.
Right. And until you get
take me seriously and like, fix my thumb, you know, like, no.
Right.
But I can also like recognize that, okay, I can fix this. It's not a problem.
Yeah, you can be flexible and you can be patient, but at some point, stop being patient and change the system so that it feels better.
That's what I get for buying cheap press-ons on Amazon, and I'm not proud of it.
There you go. Do it. Okay, so now you know you want better for your nails, and you can get that.
You know, I'm also doing press-ons. I know this is this is connected to our conversation. I think it is so intimate for me to sit in front of a person I don't know, like a nail tech, and for them to be touching my hand and holding my hands doing that. It's actually really hard for me to not tap in.
Oh,
so as a personal boundary and to be efficient in how I use my time, I've been doing press-ons.
There's got to be better quality press-ons. I think press-ons is a good idea.
Definitely.
So maybe not giving up press-ons entirely.
No, it's just finding the right brand.
Yeah,
finding the right brand. Brand is nice.
Okay, there you go. Boom.
But that's really funny that you picked up.
Psychic reading. So the way I got that was, it was giving me like metal, circular, buttons, bathroom. You're irritated. It's bothering you in your whole day. So I did get the image, and then I got the thing, and then I got the lesson.
That's so fascinating. How can people book a session with you? Are you open? Are your books open?
Call me, beat me if you want to reach me.
Right on. We do have a new service page on the Ritual Space website where you can inquire about in-house services, Heather being one of those services to inquire about as well, to connect with your business, your relationship with others and yourself. It's really, really profound work, and you should do it.
Your energy consultant. Here to serve.
Important.
That's our time. I had fun.
So much, always a fun time.
Always. Yeah.
Always a good time.
Thanks for hanging.
Thanks for coming to our little fireside chat. We're here every Wednesday. We're here.
Literal fire.
We're here every Wednesday. You can catch the recap on YouTube. And I'm figuring out how to improve this quality of content, and I'd like to upload it to platforms like Spotify, so it can be an actual podcast listening experience. Because I love a good podcast, and I want to create content in the way I enjoy consuming it. So always elevating the experience over here. If you are a small business baddie, well, let's say big business, because it's kind of a big deal to run a business no matter the size and the scale. So if you're a big old boss business baddie and you're local in Southwest Florida, come through. We'd love to chat about you and your journey. We'll be here for you every week, and we look forward to being back here next week with whatever we're going to talk about. I don't know. It's going to be great though. I hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for hanging.
Bye.
I got it. We need a button. We need a clicker.
Oh, bye.